So she was really my first contact for the institution.
Everything from the very start of my career was with Dr. Auger.
I met her at lunch in Pearson's, probably in the first few days I was here on campus in 2011.
At the time, she was the person in the biology department who had the most students as her advisor, and she was selected as my advisor.
The first time I met Dr. Auger was actually at the student orientation before my freshman year.
She introduced herself and just really made it known, you know, what our department did, and the focus was really that everyone here really looks after the students.
She embraced all of her students as children of her own.
She was definitely wholly committed to the experience of the students.
You could hear her coming a mile away because she would have a rolling backpack, and we'd all be sitting there, oh, where's Dr. Auger? And then we'd hear her rolling backpack and know that she wasn't too far away.
She didn't go easy on us, but it was because she wanted to make sure that we did the best that we could and that we did a good job representing the St. Joe's wherever we went afterwards.
When you needed help with something, even if it was during a test or a quiz, she would come up to you and she would say, you know that answer, and then she'd walk away. But I will say she never cut anyone any slack on those tests, even, partial credit. Nope, that's wrong.
Her bonus questions were absolutely not related to science. They were related to like geography or sports.
They would be the most bizarre thing, like some Star Wars movie trivia thing. And it's half the time I'd get those wrong. And she's like, hey, I gave you an opportunity.
Her classrooms were relaxed places where students could truly be themselves. She was always joking around with them.
It seemed like she was just always there for the students and also always able to really explain challenging concepts well.
She lent a dimension to learning that we have not been able to replace here.
She worked extremely hard to make their experience here one that they wouldn't forget, and that's why so many students never forgot, Beth.
She always had an open door. She was always there to talk to. She made sure that we felt valued and cared for.
Kind of towards the end of that year that she had passed away, I had started to build more of like a personal relationship with her. And it was one of the first times that I had felt supported by a professor outside of the classroom. And just somebody I wish I had more time with.
There were so many times where I spent time in her office just laughing and talking about the future and how my concerns and worries and talking about animals, everything under the sun. She probably knew about it, school related or not.
She made sure that we all knew that she wanted us to do our best and succeed wherever we went, no matter what that was.
She was always available. She was extremely involved in everything departmental, everything having to do with the college. It was really like her true passion in life.
She took a lot of time and energy to kind of make sure that I had what I needed to be sort of comfortable and ready, especially since this was my first sort of professional teaching assignment coming out of graduate school.
She was very clear-sighted and fair. If we ever needed anything as colleagues, she would always do her best to offer advice or to try to make something happen.
She really carried the department in terms of making sure our curriculum was modern and interesting.
She was just also such a good friend to all of us in and out of the classroom.
She was selfless. I think that's one of the key things that I would say about Beth. In a way that benefited everyone that interacted with her.
Students would go to her when they were having difficulties, when they needed a little extra comfort even. She was considered almost like a second mom to many of them.
She was someone that anyone would be lucky to have as a professor, as a mom of the group, as a leader of a club.
She cared so much about her students. She knew everything about their academics and was someone who kept in touch with them as well. She had a lot of pets. She loved animals, So she was pretty active volunteering, I think, for one of the local animal organizations.
I think that she embraced her animal friends as her animal family, and that extended to animals in the shelters, other people's animals. She just really connected with them on a very familial basis.
She, at one point, had a guinea pig in her office that it was like a therapy guinea pig before therapy animals were a thing.
After she passed, I actually adopted her pet guinea pig, Peanut. It's funny because I was like, oh my God, like her guinea pigs need to go to someone that she knows, because she would bring them in and we would all love on her guinea pigs. They were her pride and joy.
When I asked students if they wanted to be part of this promotion for the Beth Auger Day of Service, they were so excited. They're like, this is such a great idea. We miss Dr. Auger. And these are students that graduated, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Remembering her as someone who lived her life dedicated in service to the institution, and as an example of service for others to follow, is very appropriate in honoring her with the Beth Auger Day of Service.
She taught me to stand strong, to believe in myself, and to set high goals for myself, and to work hard to achieve them.
She was one of those people that even if you spent, 10 minutes with her, you weren't going to forget her. She was very unique, but also she was just Dr. Auger.
What she valued and what she would want other people to value is to be kind and to care for each other and to look out for each other, and not just people, but animals as well.
I think the most important thing for anybody who hasn't met her to know is that her kindness went well beyond what we saw as students and will ever really be able to grasp as individuals.
She was encouraging in all the best ways.
One thing that I would say that I learned from her is just the value of being yourself around your students, and sort of like opening up a little bit and being a little bit more relaxed. And like, students want to know that you're a person too, and Beth really showed that to them.
Students and faculty who didn't know Beth, they should just know how absolutely committed she was to improving the world around her. Just her nature was a helper. So she wanted to make St. Joseph's College the best that it could be. And she was really active with the community. She would probably be the first to tell you that making time for even small efforts is really worthwhile.
She really gave everything she had to her students at St. Joe's and the St. Joe's community, and she was a wonderful person who made the world a better place.
She would never say no if somebody needed something. She would always step up. And she gave herself 1,000% to everything that she did.
She might not be like an actual saint, but she is somebody that I look up to kind of in that way, as if she were, a saint or Catherine Macaulay type of way. I
think she was about one step away from being maybe like a sister of mercy, in terms of her commitment to the institution.
I think one thing I learned from her was how critical it is to meet the students where they're at and understand where they're coming from.
She was remarkable, and she was one of the most intelligent women that I've ever met.
I absolutely loved her. She was really, really knowledgeable, but also really kind, and not necessarily what I expected a professor to be like. So it was one of those exciting moments to be like, oh, I picked the right college.